welcome to day 3, and we are at the National Football Stadium of Scotland. Yes, that is right. Scotland, the national football team and the women's national football team play here. And Queen's Park for right now. As we are going to walk over to the little stadium they have right there, Queen's Park, because I think it would be fun to do 2 stadiums in one video if they're going to seem to me. And if we ever go to Dundee, we could do that with Dundee and Dundee United. So let's go. Talk here about Scottish football history. So Queen's Park FC was founded in 1867 and built Hampden Park, and in 1872 at a cricket football grounds, the first international match was held between Scotland and England, and the score was 0-0. And a year later, the first Scottish Cup final was hosted, and Queen's Park won it.
Keys are in the car.
Because they were the first, because they were a good football team at the moment, and yes. And then, of course, by the 1903, the second Hampden was built, and then 11 years later, World War I started, which stopped many Scottish football for around like 5 years. But it would come back, and then it would have fun again with football. Then the Great Depression came around, and then World War II. But we shouldn't worry about that, as in 1950 they were offered that they could go into the World Cup 1950 in Brazil, but stupidly Scotland declined. But they got to it in 1954, if I think so. And in the 1970s they were making it to all World Cups in West Germany 1974, Argentina 1978, Spain 1982, Mexico 1986, and Italia 19. And then we made it to Denmark 1992, and most of the World Cups I said we got knocked out on goal difference. And in 1991, the first Women's World Cup was held, but we weren't really in the Women's World Cup. We didn't qualify for the USA in 1994, and in 1998 it would be our final World Cup, as we wouldn't get to a major tournament for around 20 years. And finally, in 2017, the women's national team made it to the Euros and done again. And in 2019, they made it to the World Cup. And finally, in 2020, in Belgrade, we made it to the Euros, which we got knocked out of, and Euro 2024 sadly. But here we are at right now, finished, but they're not playing it right now. It is Queen Park FC, the first Scottish football team that is still here today, as many have came and gone. Say for example, St Bernard's and Firth Lanark, where they play at Cathkin Park. Anyways, that's all for this video. Comment, like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon, as we are going to visit a lot of stadiums next week. Anyways, peace out, bye.